Hello everybody, today we're going to talk about major scales. First we'll start with C major and we'll do one octave. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Come back down. 3, 3, 2, 1. Yep. And left hand. 3, 2, 1. So this particular pattern works over C, D, E, G, and A. The same fingering pattern for each of those scales. So if I tried it together, it would be like this. That's C major, G major. Same fingering pattern, except we're starting from G. And there's an F sharp in there too. All right, now D major. Same fingering pattern. Now A major. Too fast, feel free to slow the video down with the YouTube slowdown feature. All right, now E major. All right, so that's the first fingering group where the finger patterns are exactly the same for each of those scales. So now we're going to move on to the only one of its kind, B major, where you start actually with your fourth finger, like this, in your left hand. Try it again. And then your right hand goes, same as normal actually. Both hands. Pretty simple. All right, so moving on. Right now we're going in a pattern called the circle of fifths, and in this pattern we add a sharp for each one. So like C, G. So no sharps, 1 sharp, 2 sharps, 3 sharps, 4 sharps, 5 sharps. That's the pattern we just went in. So now, continuing that pattern, we'll go to G flat major, which technically would add another sharp, but typically you read it as flats when you get to G flat. So for this one, there's a couple of different ways to do it, but the common way is fourth finger on G flat, your left hand. Your right hand starts with your second finger. All right. So fourth finger, second finger. All right, moving on, D flat. So with this one, I like to start with third finger in both hands for this one, so, ooh, just kidding. So third finger. And then your left hand. Both hands. Cool, so A flat. A flat you could play the same way, starting with the same finger pattern, both fingers on 3. So now moving on, we got E flat. So E flat is a little bit different. So left hand, I might start with my 3rd finger. And I'll link below a chart that has the traditional fingerings as well as some alternate fingerings for each of the scales. Then your right hand, 4th finger, then 1. Gotten to 2 octaves yet, but that is an introduction to 2 octaves. We'll talk more about that soon. So 2 more scales left for this 1 octave series so far. So B flat's next, 3rd finger in your left hand. And then 4th finger in your right hand. And again, feel free to slow this down if you need to, or speed it up. All right, and then last but not least, you have F major, which is pretty much very traditional in the left hand. Just like most of the other major scales. And then in your right hand, it's a little weird because you end on your 4th finger like that. Cool, so now we've done all 12 major scales. And so that's just 1 octave for now. So I highly recommend learn 1 octave scales, just go through all 12. And just to remind you the importance of scales, well, for one, music is written in various keys that rely on a lot of these scale patterns to form the song. So that's one reason you should learn your scales. Another reason is to train your fingers to move quickly. Like, it helps. You work on your scales a lot, and each finger gets trained to be able to move very fluidly and efficiently on the piano, which makes it easy to do all kinds of patterns in the future. So that's it for 1 octave scales, and I'll give you a part 2 video on 2 octave scales. Thank you for watching, and feel free to comment below with anything else you'd like to see.